Hey guys, it's Courtney Kessinger, and this week we are going to be talking about a little bit of the drama that went on at the 57th annual CMA Awards this year. So, this year, I'm sure you've all heard about a little bit of the Morgan Wallen drama. That also includes Lainey Wilson. Both of them are kind of new country stars. Lainey is a little bit newer than Morgan Wallen, but where the drama kind of starts is Morgan Wallen was nominated for 3 awards at the CMAs. I believe it was Best Vocalist of the Year in the men's category, Best Album of the Year for his album One Thing at a Time, and then the biggest award at the CMAs he was also nominated for was Entertainer of the Year. Somehow, this man walked out of the CMAs completely empty-handed and didn't win any of the awards that he had been nominated for. This was a really big shock to not only himself, but other country music singers that were also at the CMAs, Morgan Wallen fans, and just anyone who's involved with the country music program, because Morgan Wallen has sold out multiple concerts within this past year. He always has new songs out. He's always giving back. I mean, he is a very, very popular singer in the country world, and he's very well respected. And to see him walk away with absolutely no awards was a big shock to the country music world. Also, when it comes to Entertainer of the Year, Morgan Wallen was totally expecting to get that award, as well as Luke Combs. So the top 2 that were kind of predicted to get that award was between Morgan Wallen and Luke Combs. Well, neither one of them ended up getting that award, and it ended up going to brand new country singer Lainey Wilson. Now, I'm sure you all have heard her hit single, Heart Like a Truck. If not, you should give it a listen because it is very good, and she is an amazing singer. I do not want to discredit her at all because she's very well. But I am a little shocked, to say the least, because Morgan Wallen has produced so much music. He has sold out multiple shows. And he's just been the highlight of the year in many country music aspects. So it was a really big shock to see him walk away empty-handed, not only for Album of the Year and Men's Best Vocalist, but especially for Entertainer of the Year for all the songs and shows that he's put on for his fans this year. As you can tell, Morgan walking away empty-handed from the CMAs this year did cause a lot of drama. Not only did Morgan Wallen fans backlash against the CMAs and make some comments on social media, but Morgan decided it was time for him to stand up for himself and make a few comments as well about how he was shocked that he walked away empty-handed. A few of the comments that I read in regards to Morgan walking away from the CMAs empty-handed was how his fans felt like as he was robbed of his chances. They also said how the CMAs uses him for his good statistics and then throws dirt on his name. And then another one that I saw that I kind of agree with is one of his fans saying how they love Lainey Wilson just as I do. And I'm not wanting to sound like I'm throwing dirt on her name as well either. But they were going on to explain how they love Lainey, but they have been a Morgan Wallen fan for way longer, and they have seen Morgan Wallen sell out stadiums and concerts left and right. And Lainey just started taking off on her tour and getting pretty stable this year. So in comparison to Morgan Wallen, him selling out stadiums left and right, it's a big deal. And fans are mad because when you're selling stadiums out, when you're producing large songs and albums, 36 songs in one album were produced, and fans were amazed by that. And it's very impressive. And so fans just believe that Morgan Wallen should have walked away with the 2023 CMA Award Entertainer of the Year. Let me know what you think.
Hi friends, and welcome to another Rice Recommendations. Today, I'm going to be baking. So I wanted to show you all how to make my favorite shortcut recipe, and it's for cake mix cookies. Now personally, I'm a big fan of birthday cake, so I like making birthday cake mix cookies. So first off, what you'll need for one batch. Today I'm making a double batch because I'm going to a Friendsgiving this evening. However, for one batch, you're going to want to get 1 box of a birthday cake mix. Now, a common one is funfetti cake mix. And today I got the Betty Crocker Party Rainbow Chip Cake Mix because they were out of funfetti. But really any variation of a birthday cake mix will work for this recipe. So you're just gonna wanna take 1 box of this. You're gonna want a bag of white chocolate chips. You're also gonna want vegetable oil and eggs. So these are your ingredients that you'll need. So what you're gonna do to start off is you're gonna open up one of these boxes of cake mix. So like I said, I'm doing a double batch. If you're only doing 1 batch, you only need 1 box of cake mix. So you open up one of these. And pour that into your mixing bowl. Gotta get it all in there. There we go. And then you want to get your vegetable oil. So I have one that's partially used here. And you're going to want to get a 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. Now I've got to get out the right size measuring cup. So here's my 1/2 cup measuring cup. You're going to take that and pour that in. Here's 1/2. Pour that in with your cake mix. Get that in there. And then you're going to take from your eggs, you're going to want 2 eggs. Like I said, this is for 1 batch. I'm going through the 1 batch recipe with you all right now. Before I do that, let me get my trash bin. Put my eggshells in. So we're going to crack these into the bowl. There's that 1. Just push that over. And 2. Make sure you don't get any eggshell in there. Now, once you have that done, what you're going to want to do is take your cake mix, eggs, and oil and mix all of that together. Until it starts to form that sort of classic cookie dough texture, like what you'd buy in the store, except you're not buying it in the store, you're making it. And you know, if you get a little messy in the process, throw some cake mix on your shelf. It's the fun of baking, right? Almost there. And I'll show you all what this looks like texture-wise once I get it all the way mixed in. The thing about these cookies is that you get the kind of therapy. I'm a fan of baking, so for me this is kind of therapy, you know, getting to work with food and make it for yourself and for your friends. But you get to work hard on it and do it without necessarily having to buy 20 different ingredients. You just get 4 for this one. And it's not super difficult. There's not a lot of technique involved. But I have my dough. See if you can see it here. So that's about what the texture of it's going to look like. Like I said, it's very cookie dough-esque. It's not like cake mix because it's got more of that stretch to it. It's a little bit stiffer. And so what you're gonna do now that you have your dough is you are going to add in your white chocolate chips. Now there's no specific amount that you need to have in this. It's really just a matter of how much do you like white chocolate chips. Now, I'm a fan of white chocolate. I've got a sweet tooth, I'm not afraid to admit it. So I add a pretty big amount. I just kind of eyeball it. I just mix it in. And see if that's enough for you. For me, this is enough. So now you can see I've got like the white chocolate chips folded in there. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go to my oven and I'm gonna preheat it to 350 degrees. And while that preheats, what we're gonna do is we are going to get out some parchment paper, which is in the cabinet right behind you for me. And you'll wanna line a cookie tray with some parchment paper. And when you go to bake it, you're going to want to get enough dough to make a ball about that big. So let's compare it to something, right? This is my half cup. Your ball should be about this big, you know, no bigger than, you know, your eye, I guess. You want it to be relatively small, not, you know, tiny, but relatively small, because when you put these in the oven, you want to make the balls, you push them down a little bit with the back of a spoon before you put them in the oven, and they spread a decent amount. They get bigger. So definitely don't underestimate how big they will get, and keep an eye on them. And you don't want them to stay in those balls because then the middle won't cook and you'll have sort of that cakey, doughy consistency in the middle, which for some sorts of cookies I know people prefer. But when it comes to cake mix cookies, it can be almost overly sweet if you don't do it. So I will come back with the results of my finished batch here in a moment. And here we go. Here are the finished products. They're a little, you know, different in sizes, but they're pretty good. This is Ashlyn, and I will see you in the next video.